Namaskar and welcome to In Conversation. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. December 10th is observed as Human Rights Day. Rights that are inherent to all human beings, irrespective of race, gender, nationality, or any status. Rights that promise life without discrimination and life of dignity. I have with me someone who heads the institution that is responsible for defending these basic rights in India. Let me welcome Justice Arun Mishra, Chairman, National Human Rights Commission of India. Now, December 10th marks 75 years of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. How is this milestone important for India and the world?
On this day, we take stock of the human progress made so far, developmental process, and what are the challenges caused by that development process and technological development which have taken place so far, and what are the new challenges which the humanity has to face, and we try to solve them, find new solutions for them. There are new challenges now which were not there before 10 years. 10 years before, the challenges were different. Now we have different challenges before us, climatic change, which are staring at the world climate, environment issue, climatic change, and then there are several other issues across the border which are affecting cyber security. These are the platforms on which we will assemble throughout the world, and it is for the benefit of each and every individual, benefit for each of the country. It will assist, the deliberations will assist each of the country to achieve the sustainable development goals.
Now, in a time when we've seen a pandemic, there are geopolitical conflicts going on, a refugee crisis, how difficult has the human rights context been in these recent years?
As apparent from the theme itself, we have to care for future. Time has come when we have to fight a battle of our survival. Historic movement also an opportunity to prove that we can save this planet Earth from environmental and other challenges which are there to humanity. And several war is creating problems, terrorism is creating a problem, cyber crimes are creating problems. So we have to make this world safe for human, and by preservation of culture at the same time.
Now, given the socio-economic diversity of India, what is your sense about how well do people understand what human rights are, and more importantly, what to do when such rights are violated?
Actually, people are by and large now enlightened about their rights. They know, they understand the social welfare schemes. Though there may be certain areas in which awareness may not be there, but by and large, people are aware of the welfare schemes as benefit is trickling down to them. If they are deprived of unreasonably, they are filing invariably complaints before us for socio-economic emancipation. Our government, every state government and central government frames a scheme, and we ensure that they are properly implemented and the deserving person get the benefit, and we issue directions regularly in this regard. And we are trying to generate awareness also. We hold the camp sittings also. We make our outreach as far as possible to the far-flung areas too. Anybody can file a complaint in informal manner to us by simply writing a letter. And there are several service centers throughout India which charge nominal fee of ₹30. We do not charge any fee for filing a complaint, and the complaint can be drafted by them and sent to us online also. So our reach and ambit is very wide as per statutory mandate also, and people are filing more than 1 lakh complaint, which is a record by itself. We receive approximately 400 complaints every day. So people are aware of their rights, and even if they are not aware, someone else can file about a complaint about them. There is no requirement of local assistant there. We can take sumo to cognizance also as provided in the Act itself of the issues. If we find from media reports, we take cognizance, and this year within 8 months we have taken 82 cases in sumoto cognizance of human rights violation, which we consider that should be looked into by us.
Right, and Justice Mishra, if you can simplify for us the working of NHRC. Now, as a layperson, one understands there are many institutions of grievance redressal. One can approach the police, one can approach the court. When should one approach NHRC?
Actually, if there is a violation of any kind of right, not only police, court comes only when people fail to get justice from the administration. If their voice is not being heard by the administration and it is pertaining to some human rights, some social welfare scheme, some economic benefit which must be given to them, or they are not being looked after properly in jails or other places of protection, Nari Niketan, child homes, etc., they can come to us, and every other person can come to us directly in case of violation of human rights. In case there is police inaction also, they need not go to police. We can understand their grievance, take up their cases, and we are issuing directions every day for police action. We ensure fair investigation is done by them. We ensure that guilty is booked by them. We ensure that stop our hands when the court starts the trial and charge sheet is before the court.
Right. If you talk about the specific areas where NHRC works, how is the adverse impact of climate change articulated by NHRC? How does global warming impinge on human rights?
Actually environment and climatic change are there connected with each other, and then pollution problem. These are the two major challenges, if we talk of, as on today, faced by the entire world across all the countries across the globe, planet Earth. So, concept of environment is that fossil fuel is to be reduced slowly in phased manner, and then we have to switch over to the green fuel, and then it is called sustainable development process. Then in case of pollution, the Indian NHRC of India has been hailed at the Denmark conference as an exemplary institution to guide the other NHRIs in the entire rest of the world. We are working in the field of pollution, environmental protection, and in several ways through Pollution Control Board, and we have taken up the matter of pollution in Delhi also, and hearing various other states trying to ensure that sanitation should be there, hygiene should be there, hot spots should be removed, plastic should not be spilled throughout the everywhere and anywhere. So we are trying to do our job in the best possible manner and trying to help the country to achieve the target of sustainable development goal which has been fixed for 2030 and 2047. And I am happy that India has taken the lead in the field of environmental and also pollution control matter, and then something is definitely we are going to improve the conditions for living of humans.
Right. So take us through your engagement with concerns of the vulnerable sections of society. Talk about women, children, minorities, SC, ST and others. How do you prioritize the issues that concern them, and also make sure that avoid political controversies, because that often comes out of such context?
Actually, if we talk of, I will not try to prioritize the issues. Every issue is priority for us. Taken together, we cannot ignore women, we cannot ignore children, we cannot ignore marginalized classes, and then SC, ST or OBC or any other vulnerable section of the society. So every case is important for us, every class is important for us. Our overall effort is that to work together for emancipation of all these classes and to protect them. Not only these classes, there are several other vulnerable classes like transgenders, like there are several other classes, disabled persons are there, old age persons are there, and then in jails also people, there are persons who have the human rights. Their human rights are to be protected basically. So they should come as a reform. They should not come as out of the jail as criminal. Our effort is that they should be provided good condition. And then for achieving our purpose, you see, we have issued several advisories to take care of the situation.
So specifically, if you could tell us about your interventions for the welfare of women and children and their human rights. If you could give us an example of the kind of interventions that NHRC has made.
Actually, if we talk of children first, then there is a cyber. We are living in the cyber age. Internet is useful at the same time it is being used for commission the crimes. Child sexual abuse on the internet and bullying is very common. And then there are the issues of privacy, etc., trafficking of children and women in cyberspace. 96% is a dark web. So we have to take care of this situation. We have to take care of the crimes and criminal commerce which is prospering in the cyberspace. Ransom, data hacking, right of privacy is being infringed, and then demand of ransom in cryptocurrency really creates a problem in tracking the offenders also. So we have to upgrade our digital infrastructure, digital know-how, and then we have issued an advisory to protect the sexual abuse of the child. On 27th October 2023, intermediaries of internet service providers should be held responsible to take off the contents of live streaming of offense being committed against the child, and it is being streamed live. There are videos, there are other platforms in which child exploitation and woman exploitation is there. Trafficking and slavery is taking place on these spaces. So for that, we have issued the various direction. Within 6 hours, such content should be removed. For welfare of transgender persons, we have issued an advisory that they should be treated as a woman child. In the matter of receiving the pension, they should be permitted to inherit the agricultural land where they are not being permitted to inherit in certain states. And then with respect to children, we have issued an advisory for prevention of ocular trauma. Children suffers with the Chinese crackers. You see, loss of vision is there, or low vision is caused due to Chinese crackers, and then bows, arrows should not be. And then lime, which is used in the beetle, creates permanent blinding, permanent loss of vision. There is no treatment anywhere in the world. People should know what they are dealing with such chemicals. They should know the impact of the same. Then with respect to environmental pollution, we have issued the direction. And then there are several other.
Right. So since we're talking about technology, there are new technological challenges that are surfacing today. There is the impact of artificial intelligence, AI, something that we understand as deep fake, which is a big nuisance to the society. How are you articulating these challenges which are coming up in the 21st century?
We are dealing with the not only cyber, this is related to cyberspace, this problem. AI, artificial intelligence is also should not change the way in which we are living, you see. Though this internet has affected our lifestyle to a great extent, but we cannot afford AI to change our lifestyles itself. And then there are problems of deep fake. There's a serious kind of fraud on this space which is being committed. And then it is being used for defeating the human rights and violating the human rights of innocent persons also. Not only this, there are several other kind of frauds which are taking place in the cyberspace. Banking fraud, e-commerce is across the border. And then this international collaboration is required for solving these offenses. And very stringent regulatory regime should be there, and this should be enforced. We are working very seriously that it should not generate the unemployment, and all these aspects are there. And we have
can the victims of cybercrime, of say deepfake, can they approach the NHRC?
They are already coming to us in large number of cases. Banking fraud and cyber crimes, they are coming to us, and we are ensuring that they are inquired into, looked into, and relief is given by the concerned.
Right. So you earlier mentioned about the interventions that you made for transgenders. Now, there is a section of population that recognizes itself as part of the LGBTQ plus community. Transgenders is part of that. While they are fighting for their legal rights, what are the basic human rights that they have which must be defended?
Actually, they are human first. Be transgender, be LGBTQI, they are all human. So they have the similar rights as anyone else is having. So when everybody's rights are equal, they are not having any special right which are required to be protected. But when we come to transgender, there are special problems. We have issued an advisory. But at the same time, we have to think over that the protection of human rights is one thing. And then to accept a particular practice is for the society and for the law. So we have to protect these communities definitely, and we are protecting, and we have to work overzealously to protect the human rights of everybody, including this community. And I am sure that they should not suffer in any manner, any kind of violence, or they should not be deprived of any of their human rights as per law.
So talking about the work of NHRC, how actively do you engage with the youth of the country, especially given the demography of India? It's a young nation. What are the ways in which you are bringing NHRC closer?
Our focus is on the youngsters. We are having special training programs for them internship course. We are organizing several moot court competitions throughout the country. We are organizing debate competitions, we are organizing seminars, we are interacting with them, and then we are having the trainers training of police also. With that we are imparting the training. We are having the understanding and agreement with the Nehru Yuva Kendra also. They are also organizing various programs for youngsters. So our focus is on the young generation because they are the future, and we have to capitalize upon this force, young force. They should be in constructive activities, and then they should prosper. They should understand their responsibilities, duties, and what are their rights. They should understand what are the human rights.
So whether we talk about the recent unrest in Manipur or sensitive parts of the country, such as the Northeast or Kashmir, what are the particular interventions that you've made in the context of human rights?
Everywhere, whenever you see any incident or death in police or encounter, report comes to us. Similarly, every report is coming to us from Jammu Kashmir. Manipur also, we have taken the cognizance of large number of cases, and we are actively hearing. Still the matters are sub judice before us. We have taken up the matter at Guwahati also, and we have issued various directions to them. And though the situation has come to somewhat under control, but not fully under control in Manipur. So we have asked them to open the national highways which have been obstructed at certain places because it is necessary. We have asked the Manipur government to disperse a compensation, and they have informed us they have distributed compensation to 93 persons who died in the ethnic violence. Very unfortunate event has taken place. And then they are giving certain grant for rebuilding of the houses. We have asked them to assess the loss cost to particular house and to start the rebuilding of that so that rehabilitation takes place. And we have issued directions also with respect to the proper looking after of the person, education, livelihood, etc. in relief camps, those who are still there.
So could you tell us about the issue regarding the ranking of India's NHRC by the Global Alliance of Human Rights Organization? What are the issues about India having some trouble with the top ranking?
Actually, if I say there is no issue, but there is some issue. So I will just try to explain. Their main objection is that the Act of 1993, which is there, should be amended. There should be a provision for filing the application to the chairperson and members. And second objection is about the Director General of Police being here, and third objection is there that Secretary General, who is IAS officer, comes as the Secretary General of the Commission. These are three basic objections. So firstly, this provision was made in 1993, and thereafter we have been accredited number of times. On the basis of this very act, no objection was raised by anybody about our procedure and independence of our commission. How it becomes an issue in 2017 for the first time. Then thereafter they did not insist. Anyway, be that as it may. But can it be said that Chief Justice of India or a Supreme Court judge or Chief Justice of the High Court would file an application for seeking appointment to any post, much less forget about these posts of NHRC. They are not going to file any application anywhere, and these posts can never be filled up at any point of time if there is a provision made for filing of the applications. No person who has enjoyed high status would stake a claim by way of filing application for any post, not only of this commission. So it is very tough proposition, and they have not probably, and then with respect to investigation being not independent, it is based upon a fallacious understanding of our system. IPS officers are selected on all India basis competition. They are the person of intelligence and integrity. And when they become Director General of Police, definitely they are on the top brass of the police. And police itself prosecute the police. Police itself disciplines the police by way of holding departmental inquiries. How it can be said that they are under the influence of the government? If they are under the influence of government, nothing can happen. No investigation will be taking place. But investigations are taking place in India, and fair investigations are taking place, and prompt justice is being done. And then third objection is about Secretary General. He's also another IAS officer on the top of his career. Just before, on the verge of retirement, he becomes secretary to the government of India, then comes to us. He's such a person who has served throughout his life and virtually on the verge of retirement. Can it be said that he will be influenced by the government? He's not. He's not. His integrity is not with the. You see, he is with the Constitution. There's provision in the Constitution, Article 309, which brings them here, which makes them IAS officer. They are not governed by the ruling party of the time being. You see, they are executive. There is provision under Article 50 of the Constitution. They are independent. Judiciary is independent in India. Executive is independent in India. So legislature cannot control them. Politicians cannot control them. Rather, each wing is given separate role and independence in India. This we have told to the accreditation committee. They should come and understand our system and see our functioning.
Okay. And so at a personal level, as the head of NHRC, what has been your most challenging assignment and what outcome has been most satisfying?
Several challenges which we came across actually. Firstly, we have visited several mental hospitals in the country. 4 of them were inspected by us. We found that condition was not good. Our Mental Health Care Act of 2017, which contains wholesome provision, has not been complied with by the state government so far. Condition is not very good of the mental hospitals. We have asked them by issuing an advisory this very year on 10th of October 2023 to improve the condition of the mental hospital, revamp and restructure them where it is necessary, provide modern facilities, and to send back the cured patients. Halfway home have not been constructed. Boards have not been framed in certain estates, and review boards are not there. Authorities are not constituted. Regulations are still to be framed. So we have taken up this matter on judicial side also, as well as this advisory we have issued, And I hope that they are going to comply with the compliances have started now coming. They are moving towards the right direction. And then we have requested for enhancement of PGCs also. But looking at the condition of the patients, it's very tough. It should improve, and it is going to improve by the efforts of all of us, all the stakeholders. And then we have issued advisory with respect to the transgender persons, that I have already said that to prevention of the suicide in the jails, major cause of death in the jails is suicide. So there should not be any ligature object, and their mental condition, mental health should be looked after. Family counseling should be given in the case they are not very mental, and they are depressed, found to be depressed. Then for prevention of ocular trauma of children, we have issued an advisory. And then for truck drivers, we have issued an advisory. Environmental pollution, we have issued an advisory. For taking care of the laws, again, discriminatory laws, discriminating persons suffering with the Hansen diseases. There were 90 such laws which were identified. And we have issued an advisory that these provisions should be abolished or suitably amended. Now compliance has been started by various state governments, and we are in process of attaining the bonded labor's advisory has secured the compensation of 20,000 before trial for their, which was necessary for their. Okay. And then for one thing more, I would just add that with respect to manual scavenging, we issued an advisory in 24th September 2021 that no human should enter the sewer line and the septic tanks. The cleaning should be done by the mechanical means. Central government urban administration department has also implemented that advisory and has framed Namaste scheme, and we are hearing each and every state government, and then we are ensuring that our advisory is complied with, and it is bolstered by the recent decision of the Supreme Court in Balram Singh's case delivered recently in the month of October only. So that also in tune with our advisory.
Right, and looking ahead, what are going to be the key priorities for NHRC in the coming years?
Environmental issue is one of the main challenges. Climatic issue, then pollution issue, then while achieving sustainable goal, and gender justice is to be ensured, child is to be protected, cyber space is to be cared for, and then there are several other such issues such as pensioners' right. We are dealing with them that they should get their dues, timely dues, and we are directing number of cases, and wherever there is a marginalized class, our effort is that they should get the benefit of socio-economic welfare schemes and the provisions, and we are issuing direction daily, such as in housing scheme, PMAY scheme is there, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Thousands of persons are being benefited by our directions and orders in this regard.
On that note, thank you very much, Justice Arun Mishra, for joining us for this conversation.
Thank you.
That was Chairman NHRC talking about the significance of Human Rights Day and the work done by NHRC in India. With that, we conclude this edition of In Conversation. News and updates continue on DT India after a short break. Namaskar.